everyone, welcome back to another episode of Apologetically Me. I'm Maggie,
I'm Wanda.
and we're here with an episode about friendship. We're going to be talking about some friends we've had, our closest friends today, how we go about it, and we are joined by a special guest later today. So before we get started, Wanda, tell the people what you got going on.
So I have officially finished my last assignment. So this means I have graduated from my MBA program, and now I'm in the cruel, cruel world of unemployment. That's it. That's my
Like,
update.
yay to graduating, but also keep in mind, listeners, that we are in the middle of a pandemic and job opportunities are pretty rare to find these days. So hang in there. You're going to find a job in like a heartbeat. You're very qualified. You're very skilled. I have no worries at all.
If
If anything,
your
I say take the time right now to relax.
if your heartbeat is this long between each interval, you should probably get that checked out by a
I am an
doctor.
athlete, okay?
On kind of a side note, but on topic, was when I told Maggie that I had finished my last assignment, she was like, "Oh my God, I should totally send you something because we can't see each other right now." And then she was like, "Okay, wait, never mind. I'm not going to send it to you." Well, like first, way to tease me with like a potential gift and not get me anything. And then secondly, the reason why she couldn't send the gift was because her go-to gift is the shakers from movie theaters, like those little like packs of like salt and vinegar, cheddar, dill pickle that you can get. That's her go-to. And because they don't have those on Uber Eats, she's like, I can't get it for you anymore. But on top of that, she was gonna get me salt and vinegar, and I really don't like salt and vinegar because it burns my tongue. And she just found that out. And that is why she did not win episode 3 of Who Knows Me Better.
Do you want the gift or not? We said we would wait for sushi. I don't know what you want from me.
I am just going to complain about the fact that you didn't know that I didn't like salt and vinegar, which is kind of funny because me and Maggie had really never shared popcorn before because I think we have different popcorn tastes. Like I'm just a pure butter connoisseur. She is a salt and vinegar shaker kind of gal.
I sure am. I think it just adds like a nice zest to it. Makes the popcorn a little spicy. Not actually spicy, but like flavorful.
I, for the same reason, I don't eat Ruffles all dressed. It burns my tongue and it makes me
That's literally my
uncomfortable.
favorite chip.
Doesn't it hurt you?
No?
Oh,
Do
okay.
you have
Well,
like a geographical tongue or something?
I think my tongue's pretty strong, but if I have too many of them, like it starts burning. Like it feels like I have cuts on my tongue. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
I'm
you
the
have a
majority here.
I think you have a sensitive tongue because
I
like all
think
dress is my favorite.
maybe you just have like a cat tongue where it's like super abrasive and nothing affects it.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment today.
What is
Cool.
your update this week?
Um, so I'm a fool. It's the middle of a pandemic, but I pick and choose. I think I'm like pretty selective with who I see. I went to see my friend. And then he only sees two people, me and his best friend goes into work. And his, anyways, long story short, they both have COVID. I'm in self-isolation. I have no symptoms, which is pretty great. I got my COVID test today. Um, and it's day 2 of self-isolation, going a little bit crazy. Um, hopefully next week I can update you guys on my results. I'm thinking it's gonna be negative, but like we'll see.
Can you tell us more about the test?
Yeah, I mean, I've already taken the test before. I took it last year. So, fun story. I went to Niagara Falls last year, and then someone coughed near me without a mask on, and I was like, "Oh my God, I have COVID." Um, last time it was a drive-through. This time it's like pretty straightforward. Like everyone is super nice. Long line, you book online, and then they take like a kind of a long Q-tip and they shove it up your nose, and they ask you, "Do you have a preference for left or right?" And I said, "Surprise me," and she said, "I'll do the right." And I was like, oh God. And it was like I prepared myself, but it was still like a lot of burning. Like I thought my nose was gonna bleed.
And we all know how prone to nosebleeds you are.
Yeah, I actually went back to my car to double check that my nose wasn't bleeding.
And that's it. And then they just like send you off on your way.
Yeah, and they were like, we're not as strict anymore. So If you get your results back and you're negative, then you're done self-isolating. You're free.
Okay, but if you're positive, then what?
I mean, like, I'll still be in self-isolation.
I
I can't go anywhere.
I know, but like what? They're gonna tell you you're positive and that's it? That's
Well,
like,
like, they're gonna call me, but like, because I'm not severe, right? There's nothing, I don't need to go to the hospital.
oh, okay.
So, like, if my cases are mild, like mild symptoms, I just have to stay home. There's like nothing else they can do about it. It's
Oh.
unless I'm on like I cannot breathe, like I'm dying, like I'm on the brink of death, and I should not go to the hospital. I mean, then I should go to the hospital. But if it's like super mild, like fever, like coughing, that kind of thing, it's treatable at home. They don't really tell you how to treat COVID. I realized this when I was Googling it. They're just like, drink lots of fluids, eat lots of citrus and fruits. If you lose your sense of taste, good luck. It's going to be gone in like months.
Yeah, that's like the worst part of it. So, but so far so good. Like nothing.
Nope. It's been day 5. I have no symptoms. I could be asymptomatic or I could just be pure no. I got lucky. Great immune system. Thanks, mom and dad.
On the bright side, you have a lot more time to yourself now.
I'm so bored. I have so many things to do, but I'm so bored. It's the
You just
fact that I'm confined to like one room, basically.
you just
2
keep
rooms.
cleaning your room over and over again.
It's not, it's getting so messy. I'm so lazy. I do feel for people who are not in kind of worse situations than me. Like even if you're self-isolating, you're living alone, or like you have like no family or friends near you, that must be like super tough because like how would you get your supplies and everything? Even like takeout and stuff, like Uber Eats, it's like that's gonna kill you alone. Based off the delivery fees, service fees. Um, and yeah, it's like they tell you can't go through drive-through if you're self-isolating. It's hard to do grocery pickups. It's hard to get a lot of things. So these are tough times. We're sorry for everyone out there.
Yeah, you're very fortunate that you have a slave of a brother that can just bring you food to the door.
Yeah, shitty life pro tip. Have multiple kids.
This just goes back to my
We're not marrying our siblings. No, gross.
No, they'd be
Mm-mm.
nicer to you.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay, who is your beef or crush of the week?
So I've been watching, well, like my go-to right now has been doctor shows from for some reason. And so I went through New Amsterdam and now I'm on to watching The Resident because of my favorite dear actor, Matt Zucri. I don't know if I actually said that
Matt
right.
Matt Charcuterie.
Yes, I'm sorry if I butchered your name if you ever listen to this, but I can't believe you're 43 years old. I've loved you since the days of The Good Wife. You're the only reason I
Gilmore
started watching
Girls.
this show. You are very old, and I did not
But like
expect that.
he can get it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so first picture here, obviously, of him. He does not look 43. He looks maybe 35 at most. That also kind of does explain the fact of why he has so many wrinkles. And I'm like, but you're so young. Like, why?
And he's like a resident.
Yes, and he's a resident. But they did explain this whole backstory of like he did like a few tours. Like he was in the Marines, I think. So he did live a whole life before he's like became like a doctor and everything. So the
Even though like he's an actor, he's lived like a great life as an actor. Like finance boy from Gilmore Girls, lawyer in The Good Wife, doctor in the show, army man in the show. Like, wait, go Matt.
Yeah.
You know?
He has very successful careers in the shows that he is in.
Yeah.
And he is basically he has a rich family in every single one of these shows.
He has that look, that's why.
Yeah, he does. Cause like Gilmore Girls, his family's rich. The Resident, his family is rich. The reason he got into like The Good Wife is because like his family's rich, or
He
like
could get it.
not into The Good Wife, but into the law firm. It's
Hmm.
because his like dad pulled connections or whatever, or his mom was like a senator or whatever.
It's his dad. His dad's a lobbyist.
Oh, okay, yes. And in this show, like his dad is like a like I think he's a billionaire and a very
Yeah.
powerful man.
Could get
So
it.
I wish I was typecast like that.
I would be typecast as the extra who was murdered all the time.
You would be the quirky best friend. You would be the Aquafina.
Never call me quirky ever again. What the hell?
But like
What did I do to you?
I was talking to my dentist earlier and she was like, I'm starting to get real tired of seeing Aquafina in the exact same like character like in every single movie that she's in. And I'm like, yeah, she's the quirky best friend. And like she is the humor of like whatever movie that they're shooting.
She's like, you know how in rom-coms they have like the sassy black friend?
Yeah.
That's Aquafina now.
Yeah.
They changed it to Asian.
Yeah. And that could be you.
My mom will be so proud.
I mean, she's still like a title character, so she still gets probably paid more than you do now.
I guess, yeah, but like give me more depth.
Yeah.
I am an Oscar winning actress, okay?
Is she?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
Wait, The Farewell was actually pretty good.
I know she was like
I
she
don't know
also
if
did her own thing. Like that girl from Queens.
Oh, Nora from Queens, yeah.
Yes, that.
I think The Farewell actually won like a few awards. It was pretty good.
But not
It
her.
was a serious role. I can't remember. She might have.
Well, anyways, that I think that's your Hollywood character. And if we play Who Knows Maggie Best, that would be what I'd say.
You wouldn't say like someone cool that I admire, like Taylor Swift?
Taylor, Taylor Swift has been in like one movie that's not a documentary. And it was he's just not that into you, I'm pretty sure. And she played like the ditzy no, was that no, it was Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Yes,
How dare
sorry.
you forget about Cat?
She was in Cats?
Yeah. She was in Cats for like 10 minutes.
Who did she play?
I don't know, a cat.
Okay. Well, anyways, the one movie I've seen Taylor Swift in, she was the ditzy blonde girl that was a cheerleader. So is that who you want to be?
Again, give me more depth than that. Give me like ditzy super blonde cheerleader by day, superhero by night.
Sure. Okay.
The range. Kim Possible.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you.
What um what is your beef of the week or crush of the week?
Um, well, I don't really have any, but you told me to say this one because it was kind of stupid. So I had made a funny tweet about my COVID test, and I was saying something along, we'll insert the tweet here, but it was something along the lines of, I like to see the positive side of every situation, like a COVID test. If negative, great. If positive, then boy, oh boy, do I have the perfect tweet for 128 of you, because that's how many followers I have on my personal Twitter page. And then I tried to take a screenshot and show you, Wanda. And I have to include like the 128 followers in there, but there was an ad blocking it. And this ad was from Sportsnet Center, whatever it is. So I reported them 3 times. First, I blocked them. That didn't work because I kept refreshing it and came back, didn't work. So then I reported them. And then I thought it was all gone. But then I realized you logged in and you were like, hey, did you report someone recently? And then I had to explain the story to you. So now I am explaining it to our listeners so they can see how crazy I am. And the things I will do to show Wanda how funny I am.
Anything for the shot.
I'm a slut for the humor.
That's funny. I just read the tweet on your page.
Thank you. I'll send the compliments to the chef.
Yeah, I also read the what you retweeted afterwards, and
Wait, what did I retweet?
the victorious one.
Which is actually me.
Yeah. The tweet is basically saying I fit well in victorious because every time they had a problem, they tweeted it about it before finding a solution. And that is Maggie. Although she tweets before, during, and after.
This is true. Because I think I like to find the humor in all situations, which I have been told is also my flaw.
You at a funeral. How can we make this funnier?
How do I make people laugh right now? Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. Quick updates.
Yeah, very. I'm really glad you shared that with us. I really need the world to understand like what
My
I have to
process.
sometimes deal with.
My process.
Yeah. But Um, Compliments to you for your commitment.
Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna talk about friendships. We have our special guest joining us. Her name is Gabby. She is also one of my closest friends. We're gonna have two of my closest friends on this. Wow, what a battle royale it's gonna be. So we're gonna talk about um friendships along the way, friendship fallouts, and then we're gonna play a quick game of who knows Maggie best. We'll see, listeners. Place your bets now.
Yeah, I've
I
been
asked a really
dying for
shitty
this.
question. Really?
Yeah, I have
I feel like
I've been waiting for it since episode 3 because I want to prove that I know you best because I listen. Don't make that face.
I listen.
Earlier to when Maggie wanted to send me salt and vinegar, and I was like,
How
no.
could I have known this? We don't share popcorn together.
She literally memorized my phone number, but she doesn't know that I don't like salt and vinegar.
Okay, welcome Gabby to the podcast. Gabby, you want to say hi to the people?
Hi.
Nice. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm Gabby. I've been friends with Wanda and Maggie for a couple years.
Okay, Gabby, tell us your first impressions of each of us.
First impressions are kind of blurry, especially with high school. Because I remember going in and it was like everyone is Asian after coming from an elementary school where like there was 3 Asians. So it's kind of overwhelming in terms of first impressions. But I think I met Wanda in either grade 9 English class or math. It was one of the two. And I think I met her through another friend. And I just remember like it was just so easy to be around her and she would always make me laugh. Maggie was kind of a different story because I met you in elementary. I think it was grade 6. It's grade 6? 6, right? Yeah. And I think up until grade 6, I was the only Asian like in our grade. And then you and a couple of other Asians came and I was like, oh, okay, yay. Like there's more people like me here. But I think because you were friends with the other two, like, well, it was hard for me to become friends with you. So I think it was just a little awkward. So it was kind of like, hey, I'll be acquaintances with you. And like, you were nice and everyone knew you was like smart. And that's kind of like the impression I had of you. And then I was like, oh, okay, like, I guess I'll just be acquaintances with her. And then clearly joke's on me because here we are.
Yeah, you're like one of my best friends today.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you've told me before, you're just trying to censor yourself and be nice. You were like, when I saw you, I thought you were a bitch.
I mean, I think that went hand in hand with everyone was always talking about how smart you were, and I kind of felt attacked because I was like, I'm no longer the smartest now. And you kind of you were like, hey, I'm better than everyone.
Yeah, we talked about it. Maggie had like a self-realization. She was like, I think I was a bully.
And I talked to you later, Gabby, about this. And you were like, yeah, I could see it.
Which part? Like, see you as a bully?
No, the people we were talking about, like the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like a weird like mob mentality, I think, in elementary school.
Yes.
But we digress. Wanda, tell your first impression about Gabby.
I can't even remember who I had for first year English or math. So now I'm trying to think back to like grade 9 and I don't know. I can't pinpoint the exact moment that I met Gabby, but I think were we in gym class together?
I think we had gym class second semester.
All 3 of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I remember hanging out during gym, and I think that was when like we kind of like more so became friends. Like that is I don't know if that is true, but that is my earliest memory of you at that point. So I'm sorry. I wish it was more in depth.
Okay.
But mostly the same. I think you've stayed very consistent throughout the years. And like, I know that sounds weird, but like yeah, you're consistent. Yeah, you were always like super nice and everything. So like nothing like there was never once where I was like, oh, like there's something wrong with Gabbie or Gabbie did this or like hear that being said from anyone. I knew you as like the super sporty one because like you'd be like super into like basketball and like every single thing we did during like gym and stuff. So I was like, holy crap, she's so like athletic and everything. Like I wish I was more athletic.
Oh, that's so nice. I never thought of it that way. Oh, yeah.
You don't know that you're athletic? Literally, if you go into Gabbie's house, you'll see like a shrine dedicated to Gabbie. It looks like she died or something. Like all her,
No.
not even trophies, it's like participation stuff there too.
Wow. You hating on my participation trophies now?
No, it's just like they're all like athletic stuff. And I'm like, you didn't know you were athletic?
No, I knew I was athletic. I didn't notice that that's what people think like first off of me.
Fair.
Was yours different, Maggie?
We met through mutual friends, and like everyone seemed to know Gabbie, like because I guess like she grew up with like half the school, so it's like a weird middle school. So Gabbie's elementary school is like my middle school, so like my people came to her school, so she already knew like a lot of people, and I knew like maybe 40% of them. So everyone seemed to know Gabbie. She was like friends with everyone. A lot of like gossip and stuff that I would hear like hearsay. So I know we talked about this, but like your personality changed completely through the years. Elementary school you is very different, high school you is different, university is different, and now postgrad you is different too. Yeah, I think we were just acquaintances for the longest time. Like we were like shallow, like surface level friends, like not super close. And then I think it changed more in like high school, university, like with our other like Nikki, like one of our best friends too. Like three of us just became like super close. And we're still like super close today. Yay.
Yay.
That was a cop out of me saying, yeah, I fucking hated you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a given. I wasn't the greatest in elementary school, so.
But we all changed, and kids are psychopaths, so it's all good.
I was nice. I was a nice kid in elementary school. I am shaming the both of you.
But yeah, so we actually brought Gabbie on because, you know, like she's been through the phases, like she's gone through the ups and downs of friendships, and who better to have on this topic than Gabbie, our in-house expert on female friendships.
Oh boy.
I do not need to see your qualifications. We're good here. So do you guys remember who your very first friend was and how you became friends? I'll start with you, Gabbie.
So me, first friend. Actually, yeah. I think it was the neighbor. He lived 2 doors down. And I think it was just before kindergarten. So we were like 4 or 5. And I think at one point, all I remember is we were just inseparable. And like we would always go to each other's houses like every day until he moved in grade 2. And I think that's the very first friend I ever made.
Aw. Have you looked them up?
I'm tempted to, but I'm also kind of like, maybe I'll leave that in the past, I guess. Also, I don't remember what his last name is, so.
Oh.
What about you, Wanda?
I honestly I can't remember. Like I can't remember. I have like a hard time remembering the start of things. Like I don't know how certain things start. I remember just being someone's friend.
If you want like brownie points, you should have said, Maggie, you were my first friend.
That would be so
Aw.
sad. I didn't meet you till grade 9. So apparently I was friendless for 14 years of my life. Very lonely existence. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, I think like your very first friend like doesn't matter, isn't like too significant anyways.
Unless you're still friends.
Unless you were still friends. But I mean, in general, like you're really young. I think little kids make friends like super easily.
Yeah.
You bond over like the littlest things. Like you don't like your racism, your political views, your other stuff like hasn't come in yet. It hasn't kicked in. Right now it's just, hey, do you like these toys? Hey, you're funny. Or I like it when you run. I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that. It's just it's not yet like, oh, you don't support women's rights? Oh, okay.
That'd be so funny.
3-year-old me on the playground.
Yeah. What about you then? Your first
Um,
friend.
I think I mean, I was friends with the neighborhood kids too, but I always got mad. I would always get in fights with the neighborhood kids. Um,
Why?
okay. So one of them told me that I looked like a boy when I came home after a haircut. So I threw a tennis ball at him, at his face. And then we never became quite friends again. And then I moved, and there were the other girls, but they said that I was like a puppy because I was a lot younger than them, and I got mad at them. And then we never became friends again. So my very first official friend, who I did not get mad at, was when I was 6 years old. And then we stopped being friends because my mom was like, oh, okay, well, like backstory, like she tried to convert me a lot to Christianity, and like my family is not Christian. Um, so so that was like a thing. But my parents loved her. Besides from the whole like trying to convert me thing, they still love her. They ask about her sometimes.
No.
Wow. That's insane. A 6-year-old was trying to convert you into Christianity?
Well,
They
like
start you young.
she would take me to like this after school like program thing. It was at a church. Um, and then like one day I was just saying like dear God or like trying to do prayers and stuff before we eat.
Oh my
And then
god.
my parents were like, oh no.
Like Bible school?
Actually, kind of, yeah, because they gave me a Bible and like we'd read from the Bible. I thought it was really fun.
I mean, yeah. I remember the first like Bible I ever got was like a picture Bible. Like there was
Hmm.
pictures drawn on every page, and I was like, this is so cool. What a nice fairy tale story about Adam and Eve and the creation of this earth.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean, it
Christians.
was pretty fun, but I will say, like, I don't know, maybe for all three of us, I'll say, like, it's very, like, surface level shallow. Again, I
Mhm.
think how you make friends is just based on, like, a lot of environmental factors, too,
Hmm.
like proximity. Um, maybe that's just proximity, actually. You see kids your own age and you're like, nice, cool.
Yeah. I think I just like whoever would be friends with me, I'd be friends with them. Like I wasn't too picky about who my friends were.
Yeah, exactly. What process, or no, what is it like making friends now then versus at a younger age?
I don't know. Like, so it's hard because it's like there's like proximity is still like another thing. Like, I make school friends that I put in quotation marks that are kind of acquaintances because I don't really talk to them outside of the school year. Like, sometimes I jokingly text them at the end of summer, being like, hey, school's starting. Looks like we're friends again. And then I talk to them every single day during the year, but then only like mention it, like talk to them once or twice during the summer when like school's not in. So it's very strange, I guess, like the type of relationships I have now developed. Cause like that's kind of carried through my MBA too. Like I'm closer to some people in my program only during the school year. And then like the off times, like I'm not that close to them anymore. And like I'm I don't remember how these friendships starts, but I'm a lot more picky, but I'm also not picky at the same time. Like I can't seem to make like super close friends anymore. Like I feel like I have like I don't know, like there's just something that is like maybe I haven't met anyone that's like been on par with who I'd want in my close friend group, or maybe I'm just not opening myself up to those kind of opportunities. But some things like they're very just surface level friends. Like all of them are just like, yes, I will talk to them. I enjoy talking to them, but there's things that fundamentally to their character that I don't like. So, for example, I'm going to use Maggie. So there's, I'm just using you for a comparison. So I consider Maggie one of my close friends, and there's things that Maggie do where I'm like, Maggie, what the, like, why did you do this? Like, this is so dumb. Like, I don't understand your thought process here. But I don't hate her for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with her character because of it. But then there's other people who I considered like surface level friends where I like they say like really dumb stuff and I'm like, you are the dumbest person ever. I can't believe like you think like this. Like, what is wrong with you? But like, so like Maggie could do like a very similar thing. I'd be like, oh Maggie, this is dumb, but it is okay. Like, it's so weird. I don't know what it is. Sorry, that was a
Maybe
very long spiel.
maybe it's because like because we met when we were younger, like it's like because you know me now and like you're willing to forgive me more easily than someone who like right off the bat you're like I don't know you as long, you're stupid. But Maggie, it's like, oh, I've known you my whole life. I know who you really are. This is a lapse in judgment.
Maybe it might just be that. Maybe I just think that your character flaws are not your entire personality. But then everyone else's character flaws are their entire personality.
Name my flaws right now.
You do not want me to go into the
Okay, Gabby, how about you? What is it like making friends at a younger age versus now?
At a younger age, like you guys said, it was just easy. Just anything that was you had in common with somebody, that was the go-to. And after that, it's like, oh, you bond over that. So it's like you both like sports, you both like this singer. It's like, oh, bam, you're like friends because you can just talk about that for hours with them, like as a kid. Whereas now, it's hard because I don't make new friends now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with the pandemic, it's like, where am I going to make new friends? And I think a lot of them, yeah, I don't remember where I heard it, but they were saying it's like, how do you make friends when it's outside of work or school?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like just in a social setting. So like the last time I had to make friends, I guess, was in university. And I'd say I'm still pretty introverted. So my process of making friends isn't really something I do as opposed to what others do. For example, like in university, I went to a university that none of my friends went to. So I was pretty much on my own. And what ended up happening was it was a calc lecture in the morning and everyone went to Frosh Week. So they were all kind of like getting to know each other in like freshman year. Whereas I didn't go. And so when I went to that first lecture, I sat in the middle row, in the middle seat by myself. And people were sitting like in the front and the back, kind of like having their own conversations already. And I was like, this is okay. Like, I'll just listen to the lecture and whatever. Um, and this girl walks in class, like through the door, and she like looks around and it's like she just spotted me. Like she had her eyes on me and she just, instead of like sitting a couple seats away from me or, you know, in a different row, she just right beside me and just starts talking and introducing herself. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is new. Like, hello. And then by the end of the lecture, we ended up talking about like what color she wanted to dye her hair and where we were gonna eat lunch next. So it's kind of like I kind of was friends because someone else became friends with me or decided like, hey, let's be friends. And then I became friends with people she knew. So it was kind of like that kind of thing. I made friends because she was friends with them first. And then the friend group kind of grew from there. So I think for me, it's still that process of, you know, I'll meet people through people I'm already friends with. And that's how I make more friends. So
There's like a tweet out there that's like, introverts only make friends when like an extrovert adopts them. It's like
honestly,
something
yeah,
like that. That's what that reminded me of.
I
pretty much what happened.
But I
I
wouldn't even say you're like super introverted.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because all of my university friends were like, you were pretty introverted when you met. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just shy at the beginning.
That's kind of funny. Like, I have a similar story where except the person didn't sit next to me. Like, there was a seat between us. Like, it was during like orientation, so like I sat at the very end. There was a seat between us and then she sat like she didn't sit next to me even though she could have. She sat in like the seat like one over, and then the only reason we started talking was because like the person who was leading like the orientation was like, hey, talk to your person like beside you or whatnot. And then the first thing I said to her was, why didn't you sit next to me? And then she was like, well, I didn't know if you were saving it for someone else. Like, I didn't want to like intrude. I'm like, no. I was like, what's wrong with me? Why wouldn't you sit next to me? And then like that's how like I guess we bonded over like that particular thing. Like even like I feel like it would have been easier if she just sat right next to me and we would have just started talking. I think that's a good tip. Sit next to people who are by themselves.
Yeah, they might just be an introvert screaming like, "Be friends with me."
Yeah.
Like, to answer my own question, I think it's really easy for me to make like shallow, like surface level friends. I
No.
don't think that's hard. But yeah, back to your point one, it's like really hard to make close friends because like none of you, you're both kind of shy. Like neither of you want to make that first step to be like, hey, we should hang out. But what I find, like if I'm at work or something, is like I'm a very clingy person. Like if I think I kind of like you as a person, I'm gonna cling to you on like dear life. I'm gonna be like, hey, what are you doing for lunch? Hey, let's exchange phone numbers. Hey, I'm gonna follow you. What do you want to do for lunch? Hey, follow me, or something like that. So I'm like very needy like that as a friend. And that I think like that's the key. Like you need someone in the friendship to be a little bit more open or more vulnerable, I guess, to being that close. Um, but it's still like very tricky. Like I don't know how you're supposed to make friends anymore besides work or school.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's like outside of because all every single like time I've become friends with someone, it's more of like a situational need. Like I just don't want to be a loner, and I like working or school better when I'm friends with someone or like I know someone there. So, um, like how do you do it? Like you can't approach strangers in a coffee shop, and also don't strike up like conversations in an elevator because that's weird too.
How long did it take you guys to become close friends with like your other people? Like I don't want to hear about people besides me, but like just give me a general sense.
With my uni friends, there's a couple of them where it's like it was just very easy to click, so it was easier to get closer quicker, I guess. Versus like, yeah, with Maggie, it took a good couple of years.
13 years.
13 years. But I think it was also because I was around certain people a lot more than I was with people I've been friends with for longer, right? Like I think I only saw you like once or twice in like every 2 weeks or something like that. Versus like with uni friends, maybe you'll be closer to them because like, you see them every day or because you're like in the same area, right?
Mm-hmm. I say this a lot, but our brains are stupid. We require repetition, so that's why we have to see the same person quite a bit
Yeah.
for the feelings to stick.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. I think it's like same with like open communication too. Like I'm only or I think I'm only really good friends with people who are really good texters, like people who are good at online communication because like I like to flake a lot and bail out on plans a lot. And if that's the only time we talk to each other, like we're never going to see each other and I'm never going to get to be able to talk to you. So like you need to be constantly online so I can send memes to, I can talk to when the thing happens. That's kind of like my definition of like a good friend and how you develop close friendships. It's just like because like you're not always going to be by someone, like you're not going to always see them in person. I can't save everything that I want to talk about till when we meet in person. Like there's just too much there to like remember. I'm going to forget things. Like the heightened emotions of anger are going to be done by the time that like I have to see you in person. So like I need you to be online and supportive in the moment. That's my keys to a good friendship.
I feel that.
On call.
Yes. On call on our friendship.
I know though that you tend to bond over like stressful situations. Like if you're with like shitty people, you're doing like a shitty assignment, like you tend to bond over things. And that is like what really like connects the friendship even more. Um, I know me and Gabby bonded over like a shitty thing, but me and Wanda, I don't know what like really made us click.
I think it's memes.
Memes made us click?
I think so. I don't think we were that like we were close, but we weren't that close in high school. I think the only thing that kind of like I don't think we became close friends until like second year of university or like third year of university. Which was
Really?
like 5 years ago. I don't think we were that close. I think we were
that close in university. I thought we were closer in high school.
okay. I saw you like
Wanda were closer
No.
in uni for sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Oh my gosh. This goes back to
I thought I was closer to Wanda in high school.
Yeah, I would say like I would agree with that because
close within high school.
everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
You friend slut.
Okay. Again, I think my problem is that like it took a lot of like character growth for me. Like I would say now I'm like a very empathetic, like emotional, like open communication person, but I think in high school like I tried very hard to like be friends with them. Like it killed me if people did not like me. Like it like haunted me to my very core if no one likes me or like if I don't get along with them. Like I have to get along with people. But now I think I'm very open. I think
I'm not. I would say that like I would say I'm very closed off. I am way more picky about who I'm friends with. I like if I don't like you, I will actively ignore you. Like you can reach out to me and I will never respond to you. Cuz it's just like I don't have the time for that anymore. Like if like I want to be
Yeah, that's kind of me now. Like I'm not gonna waste my time on people
Yeah.
I don't like, but back in the day.
Okay, good.
What did you do back in the day? Like, did anyone actually not like you? Like, what did you do?
You told me you didn't. You told me that. Oh, we'll save this for another. Well, next topic. But like, if people said to me like, "Oh, like I feel like we're drifting apart or something," or like I feel like no, when people get like a little bit upset with me, I'm like, please don't be mad at me. Like I will do anything I can to please you. Please be happy with me. But yeah, I think I was even though I was like very like close with like friends with everyone, like I was still kind of closed off. Like I didn't tell people like my personal stuff because that was like my own thing. And I felt like that wasn't like a happy side of me that people should see. But now I'm like, hey guys, guess what depressing thing happened to me today? I'm gonna go kill myself now. That's my thought process. JK, if you do have any of these thoughts, please go see a professional. I am just doing it for the meme.
Or post on Twitter.
Or post on Twitter. Yes. Actually, to the next topic. Great segue. Me. Friendship fallouts, losing friends and stuff. When was the last time you guys had to do a friend breakup? Wait, for the listeners out there, what is a friend breakup? Can you guys try to define that? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but like you guys explain it.
Like actively or like passively?
Actually, yeah, explain all the types of friend breakups that you've gone through.
Oh, I've never had an active friend breakup. I guess like in elementary school, I was positive this girl stole the lock off my locker because like I told her the day before that like my passcode because I was like, hey, we're like really good friends. Let's share passcodes. And then the next day, my lock disappeared and it looked like my locker had been ransacked. And then she apparently just got a brand new lock that didn't look new, that looked exact same as my lock that I had. And it like, she got it right after my locker got like ransacked. So I was like, hey, like, I think that's my lock. And then she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, but you see how it's a coincidence, right? Like that I got my lock stolen and then you got a new lock that is like scratched and looked the exact same color, exact same wear and tear as my old one. And she's like, yeah, but it's just a coincidence. And then I was like, I don't think we should be friends anymore.
Wait, you didn't try to open the locker?
She changed the password.
What kind of rich ass school you go to that elementary school gets like lockers?
Wait, you didn't have lockers in elementary?
I didn't, not until middle school.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
In elementary school, I didn't.
I did.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you were rich.
We lived in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, that was the first time I had a locker. I was so excited. I had so many pictures on.
Wait, you took pictures of your locker or you put pictures in your locker?
Why would I take pictures of my locker to hang it up in my locker? This makes no sense.
Pictures of my locker.
I don't know. You're just really happy you finally got one.
Here's my locker from a side angle. Here's my locker in black and white. Here's my locker in sepia.
Here's my locker.
In those days, it would be hard to take a picture anyway. It's like we had the flip phones.
I didn't even have a cell phone in grade 6. Yeah, I would have had to bring my professional family camera in.
I don't judge you for your actions as a young child. But yeah, that was like, so that was like active. That was me actively saying, "Hey, we should not be friends anymore." And I think that's my definition of what an active I guess breakup is. Passive is you just start ignoring them and then slowly, or like you don't really like go and try to talk to them anymore, and you just kind of like drift apart kind of like naturally. That to me is like a passive, which is when like 99% of my friendship has been friendship breakups has been.
Mine has actually been the opposite,
Ooh.
which is weird. Where I think a lot of them, except for one or two, were actually active friendship breakups, which I think it's pretty even in terms of who brings it up. Um, but I think the most recent one was, yeah, my friend brought it up and she was like, because we were really close, but we pretty much spent a lot of time together and we were always hanging out and we were always planning on doing things and like traveling and whatever. And we kind of just drifted, I think, after we both graduated. And she brought it up a couple months ago and she was like, hey, like I know we both haven't really had time to catch up with each other and, hang out and whatever. And it just became like this conversation. We were both honest that, we don't have to pretend like we're as close as we used to be. And it's kind of just okay for us to, if we have time to ever catch up, we will, but it doesn't have to be to the extent where it's like, girl, I miss you, or like, oh, we're like besties still, or stuff like that, right? And I think times when I brought it up, it was more just because it's exhausting, as honest like as I can be. It's exhausting to put effort into friendships, like especially with people that you would want to be close with. It's like you talk every day or every couple of days, or you catch up, or like Wanda says, it's like you have a friend on call. It's like if something's happening, you're gonna text them and be like, oh hey, like this happened, or like, oh, did you see this? So it's kind of tiring after a while if you have more than a small group of people that you consider yourself close to. So I think I just got tired of that for a lot of it, where I was just like, maybe I need to have a conversation with them and see like, do they, kind of agree that, we're still friends, but it's just I don't think to the extent that we used to be, and just be okay with that. And like Wanda said, it's if it's passive, it's I think I've only done it once or twice where both of us, I think, had that mutual feeling where it was drifting. So we just both never had the put in the effort to kind of just check in or be like, hey, do you want to hang out? And it kind of just went from there.
Can you tell me how you approach a conversation of like actively breaking up a friendship with someone?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
So the one I did it, I think it was well, this was in between, I think it was between second and third year. And it was more of just we had been friends since elementary school. And in high school we were still pretty close, like when we graduated. But then by second year, because we were just in different points in our life, we were in different schools, different cities. It was very it was very awkward to say the least. And I brought it up in a way that was like, I don't think we both have time to see each other as much anymore. And then it kind of opened that conversation and she was kind of like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, we're both really busy and we're both doing this. Like maybe we don't need to, see each other this frequently. And it just I don't remember how the rest of the conversation went, but I remember just being like, we're getting too busy and maybe we need to not see each other as often. That sounds a lot worse than it was, though.
I mean, I'm like a very non-confrontational
Mhm.
person, so this sounds pretty awful to me.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds awful, but I think because it was a mutual feeling, like we were both feeling pretty tired and just having to keep rescheduling and it never working out. So I think when both people feel the same, then it's kind of like it just becomes a realization at that point. But it does sound a lot worse than it was.
easier or harder than like a relationship breakup?
I would say harder. I think it's harder because like it's harder to be like I want a friendship to end or like to have to cut somebody out of your life. Or if it's a relationship, it's kind of like you're gonna have to move on anyway.
So to me, like best friend breakup is pretty upsetting. That like crushes your world because it's like this person was like your go-to. Like, yeah, boys and come in your life, but best friends, like you tell them everything, like good news, bad news, like funny stories. Like they're the first person like you want to share news with. And it's like to have not have that person there anymore. It's like breaks your heart a little bit. It's really hard.
I think the only reason for me why I might think that relationship breakups are harder is, or sorry, friendship breakups are harder is because you can very easily replace like a significant other, and you know that you will eventually replace a significant other, but like you never know if you're ever going to get a friend that's going to be at the same level as the
Yeah.
last one.
That's a really good point too. Cause yeah, back to our point before, like it took us each a while to get to where we are with our friendships. Like I don't have another 10 years to spare to build another best friend. 10 years? Guys, my prime years are over. My prime years was when I was 16. JK, JK. My prime years are now. Yeah, that's a really great point. Boys suck. But also if your best friend is a boy, then sorry.
Yeah, it's the worst if your best friend is also your significant other, and then it's just
Yeah.
like,
Double whammy.
yeah.
I mean, but that's like the situation that I strive for. Like my
Yeah.
boyfriend should be my best friend. And but my best friend should not be my boyfriend.
Not,
What?
you could try.
Um yeah, so I'm like a very non-confrontational person. I usually let it slide. I try to go the passive route. Um but I have had people like talk to me like try to save the friendship, which sometimes works, or people who like call me out on it. Like Gabby before, she's called me out on it. And at the time I didn't think we were like super close anyways, but you said to me like, "Oh, I feel like we're not as close anymore. Like I feel like we completely changed. Like I think we should like just stop being friends." And I was like, what the hell? Like,
Okay, wait, I didn't say it exactly word
stop.
for
I'm
word.
like paraphrasing, but I'm just saying like what you like. I'm just saying it from memory. When you said
Right.
that to me, it like crushed my soul. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta get this girl to love me. Oh, maybe this is like the bad boy thing.
What?
You know, and like rom-coms and stuff where it's like, oh, she's not giving me attention. Nah, I love her even more. It's like the rom-com trope. Maybe that's what I am. I'm a sucker.
So am I playing hard to get?
Yeah, you were playing hard to get. That's why we're so close now.
Is that how rom-coms work?
Hey boys, if you're after Maggie's heart, just reel her in, then play hard to get, and then she'll come running after you.
Yeah, come to me, I'll
Exactly.
give you
That's
some
how
tips.
things work. Yeah, exactly. Be a little bit mean to me. I'll come at you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, usually like like Nikki's had that conversation with me, like my other like closest friend. Like she has called me out on it. I was like, hey, I feel like we're drifting and stuff. And that's when I'm like, oh shit, okay, like I didn't mean to drift. Like you're very important to me. But I've also had that uncomfortable conversation where I've had to initiate the friend breakup where I was just like it got to the point and like I think I'm a very like positive person, like positive optimistic person and to some degree. And like if it gets to the point where I think talking to you is draining me, like draining the life source out of me, where like you're taking up my time, like I'm like literally I'm revolving my entire life around you and I don't like it and I don't like talking to you, then that's when I think you need to have that conversation where it's like, hey, I don't think that this is a great friendship. I think it's very toxic. I think it's manipulative. And I think every encounter I have with you comes out with me feeling like shit and like worse about myself. Um, that was a really hard conversation to have. That was probably like the hardest conversation I ever had in my life. We were both crying. Then I became friends with them again after like 2 weeks. I forgave them. And then like it eventually ended where I just like ghosted them because like I just couldn't take it anymore. And like I don't appreciate that I ghosted and I really am against ghosting now that I'm an adult. But I think like I had to do what I had to do, like for my own mental health, for my own self-esteem. Like it was just very painful to be around that individual. And I think like I don't know, like the reason why you're friends with people in school anyways is mostly because of the proximity too. Like you're bonding over like common things. Like now it's like really test your friendship. Like if you're out of school, like are you still going to continue being friends? Like who's gonna make that jump first? Are you both willing to make that jump? And like I'm very fortunate that all three of us have made that jump. And like a lot of people in my life too, I'm still friends with after school. Um Yay.
Yay. How do you make that jump?
I think one of you just has to be super clingy. And I think that person's usually me. No, you don't think so? I think I message you like a lot, be like, "Hey, are you free? Hey."
No, I agree that someone has to be clingy. I'm trying to see if it works if someone isn't clingy. Kind of think of.
Yeah, it's kind of you have to like find a nice balance too because like even though I love being around people, I also need like me time, and I am really bothered when people don't respect my me time. Oh, I'm gonna be a great mom.
Well, that's your thought. Okay, so I saw it on TikTok where it was a video where this girl was like, "Oh yeah, like I was waxing my roommate's butt like a good friend."
Did I send that to you?
I think it was you. Someone sent it to me. I was watching. I'm like, "Hold up, wait, you can wax your friend's butt?" And it's kind of it made me it made me evaluate my own friendships. Where it's like, would I ever?
I sent it to you because be like, "Hey, would we wax each other? Like, I would totally be down to wax you if you wanted me to."
But that's what I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, oh, like to some people that's like totally normal in terms of a close friendship, whereas others it's like no matter how close you are, you wouldn't do it.
I do you guys ask me.
Wait, what? So you would wax my butthole?
If you ask me to, I do it.
See, Wanda's in shock. Like that's what I mean, right?
I draw the line at seeing my friend's vagina. Like I don't think we like I'm okay. You can go like I can see your boobs, like I'm okay with that. Like I can wax your legs, I can wax like your upper body, but like if I have to I think that's where I draw the line. Like if you need me to stare at your vagina for like longer than a second, then I don't think we're that close.
But would you ever do you think you would ever have a friendship that close, or that's just not?
No, no, I don't.
I like it when my mom sees me naked. So
yeah,
fair point. Yeah.
So
but if you guys ask me to, I do it.
That's a real friend right there.
I would wax you. You wouldn't want me to wax you. Yeah, that's where I draw the line. I would do any other body part though. I would do your butt.
So you would wax my butthole?
No, I would not wax your butthole. I'd wax your butt cheeks. But you have to like have some like again, drawing the line at vaginal area.
Gabby, would you wax my butthole?
Okay, I had to think about this for a while because when I first got the video, I kind of paused and I was like, "This really I really have to think about this."
It wasn't even like a best friend. It was getting my roommate to wax my butthole. That was the
Okay, but you can be best friends with your roommate.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you call them your best friend? Why would you call them your roommate?
Maybe some people think it's closer.
But yeah, if you really needed me to, I would.
Aw.
Like
fair warning, I would never ask either of you to wax my butthole. I don't want an unlicensed professional coming near my butt.
So let's end it off with some general advice, I guess. So like anything that you want to share that you think will help someone who either is trying to make friends, trying to maintain a friendship, or trying to break it off with someone.
Well, I think you can make friends. I say you can make friends anywhere, but like it's a pandemic right now. It's tough. I guess online is your only way. Online's the only way to do anything right now. Be yourself. I don't know. Like don't try to change yourself because again, like this person, you want this person to stick around for a long time. This is lifelong friends. You gotta be yourself. You can't fake it a little bit. If they can't take you at your worst, they don't deserve you at your best.
Thanks, Marilyn.
That's deep. I mean, also be careful if you're making friends online. Just
oh yeah, I don't want to promote.
Not everyone is who they say they are.
Forgot about that part. There's creeps out there. I can't even give good advice without remembering that there's pedos out there.
But yeah, honestly, just don't pretend to be someone else, or don't try to please people just to be friends with them. Like, those friendships never last anyway. The best friendships are made when you can both be yourself and you're both happy in that friendship anyway. So you just be yourself.
But reevaluate, because don't just stay friends with this person because you've been friends with them for a long time. It takes a lot of courage to end the friendship. And if you're finding yourself feeling like shit, or that it's a toxic friendship, or you're reevaluating your friendship, maybe don't be friends with them. Don't put yourself through that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think about that for like relationships and stuff, but then they don't really apply the same mentality to like a friendship, where if some friendship isn't self-serving anymore, then they don't really cut it off because they're like, oh, it's just a friendship. It's not going to affect me that much, but it does. And you should cut them off. I guess like, yeah, put yourself out there, like at work, at school, wherever you are. Like that's going to be the easiest place. Like the people that you see every single day are the people that are probably going to be like more willing to be friends with you. It's a lot less awkward to strike up a conversation. I mean, you can always post pandemic, like I'm sure there's other ways that you can meet friends. Like maybe somebody's reading a book at a coffee shop and you also like that book, and you could strike up a conversation if you're not creepy or ugly. Because everything is creepier when you're ugly.
How do you know you're ugly?
Well, this is how you're gonna find out.
It's like weird if someone came up to you and was like, hey, I want to be friends. I like the book you're reading.
Okay, you know what? I take that back. Like, I take back that advice. Just go on Bumble, set your thing to making friends or like networking or something. You can make your friends that way, and maybe you'll get a cool job out of it and a date. Hopefully not.
A date with a friend.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, controlled setting. The other thing is like you're gonna go through like multiple different friends like all throughout your life. Like just because like you think that you're drifting apart with like one friend, and it's not the end of the world. Like things happen. Like you change as people as you grow older, and like just because you're not as close anymore doesn't sometimes it doesn't mean that they don't still love you all the same as like they used to. It just you are just different people now, and it's for the better. I think the other thing is like try to evaluate your friendships at all times. Um, Maybe like not all the time, but like if something just like you would know. Like if we say this and someone's not sitting right with you, that's the name that's going to pop into your head right now, and you're going to be like, maybe we should have some kind of conversation about it.
Okay, so we're gonna play a quick game of Who Knows Maggie Best. Guys, if you don't remember, on episode 3 when we had Jordan on, we played a game of Who Knows Wanda Best, and I lost so badly. Do I have regrets? Many. Do I think I could win? Yes. She just asked really hard questions, but I asked pretty easy questions this time around. What was my favorite subject in middle school and high school? 3, 2, 1.
English.
Wanda got it.
Yeah.
Why would you say math?
You said middle school and high school. I don't know.
Is this because I'm Asian?
No, it's not.
I'm actually concerned it took me that long. You talked about this actually in one of the previous episodes.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you did. You were like, I wanted to be like a teacher and everything. I was really into writing and stuff, and like you wanted to be a professional writer, and then yeah.
Okay, I guess that's not fair because the podcast and like Gabbie like wasn't on there. But yeah, Gabbie, why'd you say math? What the hell?
Okay.
Math tutor for like a year?
Because one, math tutor, and two, I remember saying math was so easy in middle school, so it was just in my head.
Oh yeah, it was easy, but I didn't like it.
You were easy.
Okay. What are the 3 foods that I hate the most in the world? You will get the full point if you can name all 3 of them.
What is it called?
We have English names.
No, I know.
Okay, so I'm gonna have Wanda go first.
Okay, mushrooms, olives, and used to not like steak, so that.
Gabby, what do you say?
I was gonna say mushrooms and olives, and I can't remember the name of this fruit for the life of me. There's a fruit it's like cantaloupe. What is that fruit?
Durian?
No, it's
Honeydew?
yes, honeydew. That.
Well, I said I would only give the point if you got all three, and none of you got all three.
What was all the
Well, mushrooms for sure I hate, but I love olives. I don't know why you olives. I like steak now. I've never really hated it. I just like didn't like.
You didn't like meat back in the day.
Yeah, I was really weird about meat because I kept thinking about like where it was from. Honeydew is right, and cantaloupe.
Oh, so both.
Yeah, this is a fun segment called "Did Maggie tweet this?"
What?
So I'm gonna read out a couple tweets, and you have to tell me if this is something that I tweeted or if this is.
You think we pay attention to your tweets?
Well, yeah, you should have, because only 128 people are allowed to follow me. So you guys
It's
are
a lot.
First tweet. When I grow up, I want to be like Bruce Willis. Hashtag so badass. Hashtag looper.
How long have you had Twitter?
Since high school.
Hmm.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
No.
This is wrong. I did tweet this.
Oh my god. It was in high school, wasn't it?
This was in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Sorry, you guys didn't know that I wanted to be Bruce Willis.
It's such a weird. Okay. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like you.
Yeah.
That was high school me. I would say generic things. Okay. Second tweet. First day of G2, and I already have so much pent up road rage.
That's
okay,
it.
Ready? Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Gabby, what'd you say?
Yes.
This is false. This is not a Maggie. It's really funny though. I thought about it. Like the fact that I have pent up road rage. Man, that'd be so funny. The real tweet.
This was easy.
The real tweet is first day of G2, and my mom is treating me like her on-call driver. Hashtag I just want McDonald's. Hashtag come on mom.
God damn it.
Okay, so the next question I have is my last one, but it's kind of like an open-ended one because I wanted to see what you guys thought, and I'll give the point to whoever liked the answer.
Wow, that's okay.
How can you tell when I'm in a bad mood?
Okay.
You ready? 3, 2, 1.
You tweet about it.
Yeah. I was gonna say you ignore them.
I don't really like any of these answers.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Did you not see the latest retweet of like I would be a perfect fit for Victorious because instead of solving the problems, I just tweet about it.
When I'm like insanely mad, the first thing I do is go to Twitter.
When you're insanely mad, you kind of like rant and then shut down.
You do.
Like you just
like you'll yell or like you'll. If it's like, I think it depends on who you're mad at though. Because if you're mad at your brother, it's like you'll yell.
Yeah.
Like
rant about him.
Like verbally yell or like type in caps?
Both. Like you'll yell at him and then like tell us and be like, Nick did this. And then like.
You shame him on the family group chat.
Yeah.
This is true. And I do shame him on Twitter. This is also true. Okay, I'll give you both the point.
That's so dumb. Think of a better last question.
What meal and what dessert did I have on my birthday this year?
Oh, I know okay, is it the one that you made yourself or the one other people gave you?
The one I made myself.
Okay. I know one of them, but I don't know the other.
Okay, you literally had like a birthday month where you
I
just
did have a birthday
you
month,
got whatever food you wanted, and
but I'm talking about my birthday.
the day of your birth.
The day of my literal birth. I did go crazy that month. That month I spent so much money on food. Mom, if you're listening, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm only sure about half of it.
Okay. 3.
Wait,
2.
what order do we say it in?
Say dinner first and then dessert.
I don't know what you had for dinner, so that's gonna be blank for me.
Yeah. My guess is like Hello Iris's fried chicken for dinner.
Gabby, what's your guess?
I don't. You made dinner on your birth? I honestly don't.
Do you think I would make dinner for myself on my birthday? The one day that I was born?
I would have said sushi for dinner.
Oh, yes. I'm pretty sure she did have sushi for her birthday because she said she was really bloated from eating a lot.
I just couldn't remember if that was her birthday or like any time during that month.
Yeah, I feel like it was sushi. I feel like she got it from August date, but anyways, that's fine. Dessert, she made herself a carrot cake, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I was gonna say like a cheesecake, but okay, yeah.
I don't know what to do here because Gabby got the sushi part right for dinner, but Wanda got the carrot cake part right for dinner. So
I like
together, you guys make the perfect friend.
Just together though, not by
Yeah,
ourselves.
not by yourself, like all together. Yeah, I did have sushi for my actual dinner, but the few days before, like my birth week, I had gotten Korean fried chicken.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
And
That's
I
what I
also
was
got
thinking.
Korean corn dogs.
Yeah, that was before
Very
though.
bloated. Same day.
Oh, okay.
It was very bloated. I almost threw up that day.
Jesus.
And then I got sushi. And then I made a carrot cake.
Yeah, that part I remember because I remember you saying, I'm gonna make a carrot cake for myself for my birthday.
Yes. Okay, well, Wanda won by like 1 point, but all in all, these were very hard questions, I guess.
I'm just gonna
they're
say
really
right
sweet.
now that I knew this was gonna happen. I've been preparing for this for months.
You didn't prepare the tweeting part. None of you guys got any of my tweets right.
Again, 1,555 tweets is how many tweets Maggie has tweeted.
And all of them are gold.
I just knew you were gonna say they were easy, and they were not gonna be easy.
Yeah. I had to win this one because going back to episode 3, Maggie did not win. Jordan did. So I had to prove that I knew Maggie better so I could rub it in her face.
I talk more. Maybe
But wait, how much did you lose by?
She lost by a lot.
landslide.
Yeah, like a lot.
I got, like very little right. If you were really my friend, you'd memorize all my tweets.
Yeah, that's all it takes to be Maggie's friend.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. If you just like my tweets and retweet me, we're already best friends.
What if they're a stalker though?
Even better.
There you go, guys.
Again, we're gonna end this off. Question of the week. Do you have better friends than we do?
How do you meet your friends? Like, how did you meet your friend, or how do you plan on meeting friends after the pandemic has ended? And how are you going to go approach them? We need some advice.
Yeah, tell us how we can make friends because I'm getting real tired of these ones. JK. I love you guys.
Maggie just blew a kiss at us and also hit her mic. So sorry about that, listeners.
So sorry.
Gabby, anything to plug?
Choose your friends wisely.
Aw,
that's a good plug.
you don't need to know everything about them to be their friend.
This is true because I do not know everything about Wanda.
Yeah, go to episode 3. Anyways, thanks for joining us for today. Make sure you like us and subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And we look forward to seeing you again virtually next Thursday. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.